Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions.
Weather in good old San Antonio, you don't need a lot of clothing, I can tell you.
And you have a little humidity there.
Yeah, a little. So, whatever. And now I'll explain quickly. I finally came up 9 months ago with another way of using AIM, because I had a lot of people to do true AIM. You need to buy a minimum of 15 contracts.
Okay.
You try doing that on NVIDIA or Apple or Microsoft, you need a couple of 100,000, because you might buy, say, 120,000 worth of leaps. Then you'd need 120,000 in cash, so that would be 240,000.
Yeah.
Well, I found a way to get around that. I call it lean AIM, and anybody who writes to me will get a 5-minute article explaining lean AIM in great detail. So
Okay.
I'll give you my contact information later. Here's the way that works. I used to call it naked AIM because it involves not using cash.
Okay.
So here's the way it would work. With naked AIM, you can buy any number of contracts. So I had a guy who had 5,000 available. So I told him, you can buy one contract on Tesla for $5,000.
Mhm.
Okay, boom. Well, he bought it at 5,000. With lean AIM, I immediately tell people you put in a limit sell for 25% higher.
Okay.
Well, it worked out. Since he bought it at 5,000, we put in the limit sell at 6,500.
Okay.
He got that sell in a month. I have a binder on my desk. In the 9 months, luckily I got smart for once in my life. No, I'm smart most of the time. And I saved every sell I got with lean AIM.
Mhm.
The 3-inch binder probably has 250 cells in it from my clients, with about 300,000 worth of profits. And that's like 500 here, 1,100 there. I've had a few big ones. I had one guy who did lean AIM with 15 contracts on Microsoft, because he didn't have enough for the cash, but he had enough for 15. And he made a $25,000 profit in a month and a half or so.
Wow.
So I have many ways to do AIM, so I can help somebody with any amount of money. In fact, the very first lean AIM sell I ever got was by accident, because somebody bought one contract on Lucid, I guess it's the car company,
Yeah.
and for $200. He was trying to buy 15, and for some reason he could only buy one.
Mhm.
So I told him, well, I don't like continuing partial buys, so why don't we make it a lean AIM? It'll be a test vehicle. So
Right.
since he bought it at 200, I said, we'll put in a sell for 250.
Mhm.
He got the sell the next day. So I thought that was a good omen for lean AIM.
Yeah. Kind of.
I've looked at them, some have taken longer,
Mhm.
but I'm buying them with leaps. And let me explain leaps quickly so people understand.
Mhm.
A leap is a fancy word for an option that has more than 1 year before it expires, and it expires on the third Friday in January. So
Okay.
right now, the only leaps for sale expire January 16th, 2026.
Okay.
And here's the trick. I found a way that you can keep owning the same leap on the same stock forever. Because here's what I do. and I avoid time decay because all leaps have an expiration date, unlike stocks. So you don't want to get near their expiration date. Well, first of all, we're buying long-term options that have almost 2 years before they expire. But we're not even going to worry about that, because what we do with regular AIM and sometimes with lean AIM is, come September, the 27 leaps come out. I wait a month or two till like November, early December, and then I tell people we're going to roll over your 26 leaps by selling them and put them into 27 leaps. And then that gives me a chance to do a couple of useful things, which means, first of all, I adjust everybody's portfolio back to 50% cash and 50% leaps. And I adjust the strike price up or down depending on what the stock has done. And then they can go forward for another year. And why is that a good idea? I'll tell you. I'll be glad to send you. You send me your email. I'll send you one of my newsletters, and you'll see.
Oh, you have my email. It was in the
okay, I've got it. Okay,
yeah.
I will send you my newsletter.
Okay.
In 18 years, like I said, the in the money portfolio is up 2,266%. And all I have time for the newsletter portfolios, I check the price arbitrarily once a month.
Yeah.
And in that time, Apple alone has gone from 72,000 18 years ago to 16 million because of compounding. Because the beauty of AIM is you're making money compounding.
Right.
And I'm offering a 9-hour course on AIM that tells you everything. And the important factor to learn is how to minimize taxes on AIM, because it's all short-term capital gains. And I figured out the perfect way to do that is you do all your trading inside a Roth IRA. And that way you could grow your AIM portfolio to millions, and you'll never pay tax on it. And the beauty of a Roth IRA, there's no minimum distributions. In fact, if you don't need the money, you can leave that money to your heirs, in the future.
Right.
You never have to take it out. And if you ever take it out, all you have to do is wait 5 years since you opened the Roth. Then you can take money out anytime. There's no 59, no minimum age or any of that baloney. So you truly have control of your own money. And I explain that thoroughly in my course. I try and, and I take phone calls. The other thing I'd like to emphasize to people is you will never get better customer service than from me. I'm doing AIM 7 days a week, usually 8 or 10 hours a day. I take phone calls morning, noon, and night. You would not believe how many calls I get, because I'm the only one that can explain it to me. And I'd always tell people, you call me, you will never face a voicemail ever, because it's me who's going to help you, because I'm the chief cook and bottle washer doing all this stuff. I figure the purpose in life for all of us is to help other people. And this is the best way I can do it. I'll give you one good example. Sure. The guy I made $1,250,000 for in 2020. Here's what I like to emphasize. AIM is so easy to learn. He didn't know anything about AIM, and he didn't know anything about leaps when he started in January 2020. Well, by June, he told me, I know it well enough, I'm going to do it myself. Okay. So he made most of that $1,750,000 from what I had taught him the first 6 months. So I'm proud of that. Another guy told me, Jeff, I have to quit AIM investing for a while, but he had a great reason. He said, Jeff, you made me so much money, I was able to build a custom-made house for my aging parents who had special needs. So I was able to pay cash for, I don't know, $500,600,000 home because of you and AIM.
That's cool.
So,
that had to have felt good.
Yeah, that made me feel tremendously good. And get this, he paid the guy, Mark Doherty, great guy. he paid me the ultimate compliment because he wrote a book about his AIM investing ideas, and he dedicated the book to me.
Oh, that's cool.
I couldn't believe that. That was probably the greatest honor anyone has ever paid me. And that's the whole reason I get into doing AIM, because I want to help all investors, big and small, make the money. I mean, I even have a model portfolio. If you had 20 million to start with, I can help you.
That's cool.
And that $20 million portfolio in 4 years is up 125%.
Wow. Okay. So I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
So growing up, where you grew up in the town of 7,000, what was your favorite thing about growing up there?
We had everything a kid could want. I had a great neighborhood. I had lots of other kids to play with. We had a skating pond at the end of, like, a block away from my street where we could skate in the winter.
Yeah.
We used to go to this farmer's field and play football and baseball during the warmer weather.
Mm-hmm.
It just was a great town to grow up in. Everybody was friendly, you know. I remember one time I stupidly raced somebody around we had a circular, I love that circular neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I love the fact, you know, we had a beautiful house, and we had none of the trouble that you see today.
Yeah.
I mean, every house that I ever went to had a mother and father, and the mother didn't work.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like, you know, and we had all these great restaurants there that were local, because I got to grow up pre-fast food, thank God, you know. So I enjoyed local, homemade type of food. I don't even remember a fast food restaurant in the town,
Mm-hmm.
at least when I was growing up through high school.
So here's another question. Here's another question for you. Growing up, who was the most influential person to you?
Obviously my mother and father, because they taught me well.
Yeah.
But besides them, I would say I envied Harold Karstens for, you know, being a great boss and teaching me, you know, that bosses don't have to be evil.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him. And investing wise, I'm going to say I stumbled upon Bernard Baruch, and I think fairly he can be considered the greatest investor in history, because get what he did. He was smarter than the rest of them, because while many people were jumping out the window in 1929, you know, because they had lost everything,
Yeah.
Baruch wasn't jumping out windows, and he had saved himself a lot of money. How do we know that? Because in 1931, the Dow Jones hit its all-time low of 41. That's 41. Baruch called up his broker and said, I want you to buy $10,000 worth of every stock, every one of the 30 stocks on the Dow Jones average for $300,000. His broker said, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Baruch said, do it. By doing it, he made himself a multi-billionaire.
Yeah, I did.
So what I love to tell people is, I said, you've got to, you know, he taught me you always have to take a long-term view of the stock market.
Yeah.
You know, and you talk to any of them, even the modern guys like Warren Buffett, he'll tell you, don't buy anything unless you plan to own it at least the next 10 years.
Yeah. Warren almost never sells anything.
No,
So,
but what I tell people is Warren didn't sell, don't trade anything. So I would tell people, like, well, by owning and trading Apple alone for the last 18 years, you would have made $16 million.
right.
You know, but and that's the beauty of AIM. You never have to get out of one. You can just keep trading it if you like it.
Yeah.
And you're always having more money because you're compounding the past profits.
There you go. That's awesome.
So,
Okay, so let's talk about the books because we're going to run out of time.
okay.
So first of all, let's talk about the first book you wrote. You showed it to me earlier.
Oh, well, no, I didn't. I should. Let me show you that book here. Hold on.
Okay. Oh,
I
okay. So this is
sell
a
an
different
up,
book. Okay.
yeah, I sell an updated version of this. This is the book I give away for free.
And what's the
And
title?
it's titled, I Guarantee You Will Buy Low, Sell High, or Make Money, or Here Are the Customer's Yachts.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's
So,
the book I'll give away for free. I want to warn people it's 350 pages, but
yeah,
100 pages are spreadsheets, so you can ignore them. I wanted to prove to people what I was saying was true.
right. I got you. So empirical
Not
evidence.
many words, well worth reading.
I got you. So how do you give it away? Do they email you? Do
Oh,
they...
yeah. All you got to do, if you email me at jeff@jjjinvesting.biz, so that's JEFF at jjjinvesting.biz, I will send you the book, and I will also send you 10 articles I've written, including one on explaining lean aim in 5 minutes. And get this, I'm the only one in the world who compiles a list of all of the 2026 leaps. The Chicago Board of Equity used to do it and they stopped doing it. So I have to do it myself. Is that unbelievable or what?
That is a little unbelievable. Yes.
And there's only the beauty of leaps is this, there's only about 500 leaps out of the 6,600 stocks that trade.
Gotcha.
Okay. So automatically leaps are always on the better companies.
Yeah.
On average. You're always going to see NVIDIA, Microsoft, AMD, Apple, those type of ones. You're not going to see penny stocks with leaps. And again, the prices are cheaper. So people will get a list of the leaps, and I make it easier to use because I highlighted in yellow all the cheap stocks that have leaps that sell for less than $25. And I highlighted in green all the ETFs, index funds that have them. Like you can buy there's a great fund on the NASDAQ 100 tech stocks called TQQQ.
Okay.
Has leaps, very cheap. There's another one called SPY, which is the index with leaps on the Standard & Poor's.
Okay.
And there's many others. You'll see them when you get my list, and all of this is free. I want to help you.
Okay, do me a favor. So there were 2 books earlier that you showed us. One was Here Are the Customer's Yachts.
Right.
Show those real quick so people can see them.
Okay.
And then where can they go to get them?
Okay. Yes. Here is my.
There you go. There you go.
Here are the Customer's Yachts. And here's my other book. This talks about using AIM with dogs of the Dow stocks, which are cheap.
Okay.
Here's my other book called AIM for Millions with stock options.
Okay. Now, where can they get those books?
They can go to my website, jjjinvesting.com.
.com or
they're
.biz?
all for sale on my website.
Hold on. .com or .biz?
.com for the web page. The email is .biz. The web page is .com. It's complicated.
Okay, so jjjinvesting.com, they can buy those other 2 books.
You can buy those books through Amazon.
Or they can email you, they can email you, jeff@jjjinvesting.biz.
Right.
Correct? And get the free book.
Right. And you get lots of other free bonuses too with it, including I'll send you my latest newsletter.
Okay.
And anybody who signs up for the free book, it's a 3-month trial on the newsletter, which I normally charge $150 a year for. And I want to let people know, if you really like AIM, but you're not big time into investing yourself, I would be more than happy to help you manage your account and let you know when you have buys and sells. So
Okay.
you would not have to do much work at all, and you will still make the huge profits.
So you can do that for them?
I can do that for them. Yes, I do
What
that
do you
for about
charge?
30, 35 people right now.
What do you
I've got
charge to
room
do
for a
that?
few more. I'm probably managing 10 million right now.
What do you charge to do that?
Okay. I would charge roughly 1,500 for 1 year.
Okay.
If for regular AIM, if you're going to do lean AIM, I'll cut it back to 1,000 for 1 year.
Okay. That's not bad. Okay.
I think that's reasonable. I put it.
I think so too.
It takes a lot of work,
Yeah, I understand.
And I'm always, and basically, if you're my client, I help you get started. I give you all the advice. I suggest ones I like right now that
Mhm.
are good to start with. I set up your spreadsheets for you, and then I'm always there to answer any questions for you. And I look up your options every single day. I'm looking up about 150 options a day
Wow.
to see if people have a buy or sell.
Wow.
Because many people are just too busy or too lazy to do it themselves.
I got you.
And you got to, the only thing with AIMS, I tell people, you can only fail if you ignore when I tell you to buy or sell, because of the volatility. Those buys and sells go away quickly if you don't do them.
Right.
So I get in the habit of checking all the leaps right around when the market closes. And then I tell people, and if they have a buy or sell, I text them or email them or phone them. And I tell them, put in the new limit sell tonight. So if you send me a buy or sell during the day, I've updated your spreadsheet, I've sent it to you, and I tell you, you need to cancel if you made a buy, you have to cancel the old sell. Then you put in the new buy and the new sell, and you're all ready to go.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Jeff Weber, I cannot thank you enough for being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience. This has been a super fast time together. But thank you for doing this.
Oh,
and thank you for the free offer to our listeners. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And I've never found anybody else doing anything close to what I'm doing.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that is, because I always tell people, if you like this stock, you have to love the leap.
There you go.
Because the leap is going to make you a lot more money.
I got you. Jeff, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was great.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, sir. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.